especially on live streams, there's this extra pressure to win a pot because everyone's watching. And so if you're playing a private or public game that's not being aired, you can lose for 3 hours straight and not really care that much. It still affects you. But when you're on stream or playing a recorded game and you lose for 3 hours straight, it feels like 3 days.
So before we get into the poker section of all this, I guess do you see any parallels between relationships and poker?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of crashing and burning, and the highs are high. I guess there's a lot of correlation between poker and life. You kind of go through swings, and they never really stop. There's always ups and downs, kind of similar.
The ups are good and the downs are tough.
Oh, yeah. But it does, I was talking to a couple poker players about this that that are like a few years in to the game and that I become friends with. And I don't know if mentor's the right word, but I watch them go through their swings, their heaters and then their downswings, and it's like the first couple heaters that they've gone on and then the first few downswings, and it just hits them so hard emotionally, and like their self-worth is kind of wrapped up in the game, and they don't like it. Kind of breaks your brain how much variance is in the game, because you can just lose, like we've talked about, for weeks or months straight without doing anything wrong, and it doesn't seem like it's right or possible, but then once you are in the game for 10, 15, 20 years and you're like, oh that just happens like all the time throughout the years, like it's just normal, then like it's easier to handle the 20th time going through it, if you've done any sort of work or grown. As long as you keep growing, then it becomes easier to handle. It always sucks, but
what's fucking tough too though is like I feel like with what we were just talking about, me and that girl, the issue was, it was not like I was getting bad cards. I was on tilt. That's what happened. The cards were great. I spazzed. That's what went down. Yeah. I'm a spazzer. I just like I had my composure, and then all of a sudden I just flipped and I started tilting really fucking hard, where I'm like, sometimes you're like losing because just like you're unlucky, and sometimes you're losing because you are playing bad and you're not in a good headspace.
One like a big thing that I've noticed in myself the last few years I really like is that I'm getting so obsessed with just playing well. Like I don't give any energy to run bad or to bad luck or to like the cards. I don't even think, like, I've been very good at not thinking about those things. And so like if I have a session where, let's say I get crushed and I was super unfortunate all night, I don't harp on it. I will just go to like a few in my mind, like when I'm during the session and afterwards, I'm only thinking about the spots that I feel like I messed up.
Yeah.
And that's it. Whereas like I think newer players will give a lot of energy to the fact that they didn't win and all these pots that they got sucked out. They talk about bad beats all the time. I got the money in here and this happened, and like I just don't have the energy it doesn't matter. Like that doesn't help at all to talk about a bad beat, to talk about like what, this guy did this and sucked out on me. Like that doesn't make you better as a player. Like I just don't care. So the last few years I've noticed in myself that I don't give energy to any of that, and I'm just like, I fucked up this hand and I could have done that better, and that's the only thing I think about.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Because I think the alternative to that is just being like, woe is me. And just like, with the relationship thing, just being like, oh, God, I always have the worst luck with women. And it's like, no, you don't. You actually don't have the worst luck with women. You are, you're doing,
it's the way you're
doing fine.
It's what you're choosing to talk about. It's what you're choosing to harp on.
Yeah.
Whether it's just people, like in general, and that whatever they're doing in life, whether it's poker, relationships, or any kind of job, like what are you choosing to harp on? What are you choosing to constantly talk about and give energy to? And is it something that's in your control? Most of the time, most people are talking about shit that's out of their control, and they're complaining or like, woe is me. Like, look at, like, oh, this happened to me. This was bad luck. Isn't this feel bad for me? It's like, that doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
That doesn't help you get anywhere. So like, why talk about it? Like, why talk about getting too outed, in a big spot for a big pot? Like, no, you couldn't help that. Like, why don't we talk about a hand where you feel like you fucked up and you need to, improve that spot?
Yeah. This is a hand where I fucked up. It's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. Speaking of fucked up, let's see Tom Dwan versus Doyle Brunson. Let's go.
This is old school.
Better than Tom Dwan.
What year is this, you think?
This is when I was, oh man, I watched every second of all these episodes. 2010, 2012?
Old school, baby.
Do we have a year on this?
It doesn't have it says it was posted in 2024 and it has no other date on it. But obviously it's not from last year.
Yeah, I would say this is...
Doyle Brunson's been dead for a few years now, right?
A couple years, I think. 2 years. I would say this is over 10 years old.
You raise it? 1,400 total.
Dwan open raising on the button with pocket threes.
Darvin Moon is like a folk hero to me. When I see him on the coverage, doesn't he look like a folk hero?
Yeah,
really?
You raise it?
Have you watched much of the coverage?
4,900 total.
Does he?
Wow.
Brunson is re-raised with 9-10 suited. Hansen out of the way.
Can you believe I'm only on day 2 where I'm on right now? It's all
right, JC, why don't you announce what everybody has?
All right, so Dwan opens pocket threes on the button to 1,400, which is a standard open for that hand. I'm not sure what the blinds are. That's a good thing about the new graphics is they show the blinds and antes. I'm assuming they're probably playing, if he raised to 1,400, maybe they're playing like 200, 400 with like an ante, some type of ante. Maybe they're playing 300, 600. That would make sense. And then Brunson looks like out of the small blind, 3 bets to 4,900 with 9-10 suited, which is, I think, slightly small for being out of position. I think you want to probably make it a little more to encourage the button to fold so you're not playing out of position. But
okay.
It's all, pretty standard stuff.
I have it all TiVo'd. I've been, since I was coaching, I had to pay attention this year, Yeah.
And Dwan calls a 3 bet.
Calls the extra 3,500. Over 10 grand in the pot heading to the flop.
It's up to the flop.
Wow.
Trip 9s for Doyle.
Crowbar.
Doyle's going to c-bet here because he has the betting lead with pretty much, a lot of his holdings.
Tom Dwan's looking at this with a pair of threes going, what do we do now?
I like this sizing from Brunson.
You know that, right? The barrel falls removed.
Bet and a call of 7,000.
I hear some familiar voices in the background.
Is there a reason why he's calling when, I guess he has 2 pairs. The thought here is he thinks that he has nothing, and
so the re-raising range from Brunson in the small blind is going to be a lot of big cards. It's also going to have all the overpairs, like 10s through aces, but it's also going to have a lot of queen jacks suited, king jack suited, king queen suited, ace jack, ace queen, ace king, It's going to have some ace wheel card, ace 3 suited. It's going to have a ton of shit that threes is still ahead of on the flop.
Okay.
1,000.
So the turn.
No,
They're also playing super deep, so it's not like he's calling the button just to set mine.
Doyle fires again.
Which means set mining is like you call with a small pair, and if you don't hit your set, if you don't hit a 3 on the flop, you just fold. He's not really just set mining when they're playing this deep, so he's trying to play a pot. And
so Doyle Brunson bets 22.
yeah, this turn bet is pretty strong. I think
If you're Tom Dwan, what are you thinking here?
I think it's time to fold. I mean, you're just not. I don't think he's doing this with King Queen or Ace Queen
Tom
anymore.
looking Doyle over.
Pause it. It's so like on 995 turn 6, this board is going to favor the button way more than the small blind. So it's pretty unlikely that Doyle's going to 3-bet with like 5s or 7-8 suited or 6s. Like those are 5s and 6s and 7s and 8s. And I mean, he could 3-bet with 9s, but it's really hard to have quads. So this board favors the button a little more. And so when Doyle leads the flop and then barrels the turn, that just shows a lot of strength. For him not to be concerned with this board, I think it's just pretty unlikely that he's bluffing.
Yeah, so he's unconcerned with Tom Dwan having 7 or 8 or something like that. 7 and 8.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just blasting 22K into the turn. Yeah, I mean, I think
it's a bold move.
3s is just a fold.
All right, let's see what happens.
And he makes the call. 44,000 goes into the pot.
There's that jack. Holds a stack of money while he does it. How old is Tom Dwan here?
24.
All in.
Player moves all in.
Can you leave the $5 away, Toil? You can tip with them.
In comes the third barrel, and Dwan doesn't like that.
Can you see how much it is?
About 55.
35, 46.
Oh, a little bit more. 56. Damn. That's way off. 62.
That's Gus Hansen. He's a legend.
62 to 50.
How much you say? It's 75 is more. 10,
30, what?
35, 45, 40. Oh, yeah,
46,
you're
56,
right.
60, 62.
I count the stack as 10 a piece over there.
Tom Dwan's just sitting there thinking on this one, wondering what do we do next?
I think
I don't even know why this is
almost
a
a
decision.
pot-sized
man.
Yeah, I think, especially versus Brunson, I think it's just torching money. If he's versus like a
Oh, yeah.
like a
This will be the
Isaac
biggest pot of the
Haxon
night,
or
whether or not Tom
some
calls.
like
Yeah, one thing is
super
Antonio
pro
was-
who
wanted to beat me every
is
pot.
capable of taking
I just started limping and
some
then I
hands
trapped him a
three
couple big
three
pots. He
streets
just
and
wanted
going
to
all
raise
in
money.
with absolutely nothing.
He was down 80 when I quit.
It's worth a little more thought,
Which
but
was
I
a
don't
lot
think
for that
Brunson
long.
is going to take this line with air.
So Doyle Brunson was not a big like folding guy, or a big like
Jesus.
not a big.
Jesus, that's a punt.
Dwan makes the call, and $193,000 heads over to Doyle Brunson.
Wow.
So okay,
No,
so Tom
Doyle-
Dwan's like an extremely strong poker player, right?
Yeah, he's
So what the
he's one
fuck
of
happened
best.
to him here? It just seemed like he was getting just dragged along by Doyle Brunson. Is it?
So this, like, watching this hand kind of makes me wonder what the table dynamic was and what's been happening leading up to this spot. like this doesn't, this is definitely not a standard hand.
Yeah.
So
Brandon, pull those comments up.
So I'm wondering like what the table dynamics were. Was there a side bet going on, or a prop game going on?
Exactly like you said here, though. First comment. One thing about Doyle, he always had it when you called, and was bluffing when you folded. Truly a table general.
Yeah, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, but okay. Back when Tom was getting at least 8 hours of sleep. LOL. Yeah, but keep going. Sorry.
No, I mean, we don't know the table dynamics and how the game was like. There's this idea called like game flow. So like maybe Doyle lost a few pots before that, or was super tilted, or they had like Doyle and Dewan maybe had a dynamic with each other that they were battling really hard. But we can't really tell from just one hand. So,
got it. You're missing like a lot of the context. That's important.
Yeah, we need. I would want more of the storyline, and that's another reason why. I mean, I'll still take seats as an alternate in big games, but I much prefer to start a game than to come in late into a game, because there is like. A poker game is like a living thing. And when you sit down, everyone sits down before the game starts. Everyone has a certain energy. Everyone has like, certain plans. And then the game starts and storylines start to develop. Certain guys are getting unlucky. Certain guys are getting lucky. You have guys that can handle losses differently than other guys. And you want to, like, I want to be in the game from the beginning and watch how everything develops, because it changes everyone's range of types of hands they're going to play. So it's really important. Like I really prefer to be at a game from the start and to watch how everything develops, because it can change like how I play a big spot later on, because I know where the guy is at emotionally and how many beats he's taken or how high he's riding. Maybe he has a lot of confidence to make a big bluff. Or vice versa. Maybe he's been beaten down all day, and this guy is only looking to play the nuts. It depends on the person.
Yeah, so everyone that's in the game has information that you do not have if you
enter late. Yeah. So like the storyline of the game, or like the lifeblood of the game, like you need to be in it from the start to really understand what's going on. It can still be profitable to sit down in a game late, but you are missing information, and it's important information. Because I've entered games towards the end and I have no idea what's going on or who's stuck and who's up. I can kind of like guess by the chips, but you don't really know for sure. And it's not like, I mean, you can ask, but people don't have to give that information, and it's important information.
Yeah, so it's basically like a game of like whoever has the most information has an advantage, obviously. And if there's 8 people at the table that have information that you do not have, and you're the 9th person without that information, you're obviously at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So
I always try to start games for sure.
Are there situations where you've like asked to be put in as an alternate and you've just been like, no, I'm not going to do that? Yeah,
there's been a few times where if the game is like super big, and I'm shot taking, I don't want to shot take and come in late.
What do you mean shot take?
Let's say you have a bankroll that can, withstand the swings of like 25, 50 blinds. So, and you get asked to play a 200, 400 game or 100, 200 game. That would be shot taking. And so, I mean, I have done it. I have come in a little late in those games, but it's not by choice. And I really try not to. I would really like to start the game and just watch the action and watch, see who's winning, losing, and how they're taking it. Or else, you can kind of just get into a game and a guy could be on raging tilt down heaps and you're not really aware of it, and he just steamrolls you. In a spot where like, oh, he just clearly has a hand and he has nothing because he's losing his mind.
Yeah, so you let the guy that's on tilt come back a little bit because you didn't know that he was on tilt.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I've sat down and, you know, it's a spot like, okay, they always have it here. I fold and you know, the guy was already stacked, you know, 2 or 3 times that day, let's say, and he's just desperate to win a pot, and I didn't have that information. Mm-hmm. And so I fold like a medium strength hand.
Is that like part of the game too, where, you know, everybody's got this going on at the table, like there's like a story going on with each person, and it's a game of information. Do you ever like try to feed a bullshit story about the way that you're playing into the table? You know, like make it seem like you're tilting a little bit harder than maybe you are, or maybe make it seem like you're playing super strong even though you're playing a lot of weak hands. I suppose it's tough because like at the end of the day, you do have the kind of like showdown and show of cards you have if you want to win the money. You have to show you had.
It's difficult to override everyone, like when they're especially on live streams. There's this extra pressure to win a pot because everyone's watching, and so if you're playing a private or public game that's not being aired, you know, you can lose for 3 hours straight and not really, you know, care that much. It still affects you. But when you're on stream or playing a recorded game and you lose for 3 hours straight, it feels like 3 days. Yeah, it's magnified. Because you know that just this is, you know, being watched by however many people, and you haven't won a single pot. That's something, you know, I've gotten better at distancing myself from caring, but it still affects you, and then it drives you to like try to win pots maybe you shouldn't, and so that's something you have to pay attention to within yourself, and then watch other people. And how desperate are they to win a pot?
I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is a disadvantage, but it's there's also spots where like if the game's good enough, like you gotta get in there even if it's late.
You just gotta power through, dude.
Yeah,
you just gotta show up and fucking hit it.
But I've done it the other way once, where like I entered late and it was a bunch of killers. And I'm like, oh, this is not a good idea. I'm sitting down, I'm blind, I don't know what's going on with the table, and everyone is good. Like everyone's as good or better than me, and I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I guess if there's like one parallel to stand up here, I was talking to Dave Nihill about this, and because I was telling him that I've been doing like Wim Hof before I go on stage. Yeah. I'm like, I find a place, I sit down, I just do it before I go on. It like calms my nervous system, and he's like, you should not be doing that. And I'm like, why? And he goes, before you're going to go up, like you should be sitting in the back of the room and you should be listening to what the other comic is talking about and hearing what's going on in the room, because either they're doing a bit that you're going to be able to pick up on, or they're going to be like talking to some member of the audience and you're going to have that dynamic figured out. Because like,
I like that.
Yeah. Cause every comic has made that mistake where you go up and there's some guy that's just getting fucking ragdolled by the previous comic, and you show up 5 minutes before your spot and you go on and you're like, what's your fucking deal? And everybody's like, oh, come on. Like we just spent an hour picking on
We
this
just talked
fucking
about
guy.
this.
We just talked about this. So like, I think it's obviously not as high of stakes, but I think the comedy thing is like, when you get on stage, you have to, at the beginning, give the audience some sort of sign that you are present and awake in the room. So if you go up and you're like, okay, I have a bit about Elon Musk, and I'm going to dive into the bit about Elon Musk. The second I hit the stage, the audience goes, he's reading off a fucking teleprompter in his head. He's just like reciting material. But if you come up and you go, this room's kind of fucking weird, dude. What are you doing in here? You got too many TVs. Like, this is, why do you need so many TVs? Did you buy NFL season ticket and you want to make sure you watch every game? What's going on in here? This is fucking weird. But you do something like that and it just kind of lets everybody know that you're in the room, you're present, and you're there. So
speaking of that, we did some comedy together.
We did.
We turned the old drink counter off because we got hammered last time.
We got fucking annihilated from
We're
our
at
birthday.
32. We're having a smooth, no alcohol day today.
It was my 32nd birthday, so we got to our 32nd drink, and
you watched me eat shit.
It was awesome.
And bomb.
It was so fun
at
to watch.
odds.
Holy fuck!
Next to the lodge.
Yeah, and
That was my first mic in about a year and a half. And I hated it. I mean, I'm glad I did it, but it was, so bad.
Well,
I did not prepare.
there are a couple things that you did that I would never do. Number one, if I
Couple things?
This is the number one thing that I would never do that you did.
Okay.
If I were to make a comeback to stand up, if I were to take a year off, my first setback would not be with everyone that I do business with in the room.
Fuck.
That's so fucking hard because I don't think I could handle the nerves. Like for me to this day, and Bryn, you've probably experienced this too. When I show up at the Buzzmill sometimes and it's like Brandon, Lucas McCrary, Matt Ross, fucking Spencer are all in the back and they're watching me do stand up. And I'm like, I don't want to bomb on my new shit right now, even though it's new shit, because I don't want them to think I fucking suck. And like, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'd prefer I don't really want anyone to watch my set that I respect. Not it just adds like
Everyone in that room I respected.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, and
'cause
I ate shit.
you don't want the pressure. It adds a pressure. And then the open mic is the worst because you're like, yeah, maybe I just did have some like dumbass ideas that aren't going to work, but this is like the one spot to come up and make them not work.
And they tend to do better because you're not putting any pressure on them. You're like, okay, I
Yeah.
can actually give this adequate timing and spacing to just be like, all right, well, that bomb, we're gonna keep moving on down the line.
I couldn't say no. Like I've been with these guys for 4 years doing live streams.
They're fucking awesome dudes. by
They're
the way. I
all
love those
great guys, and we've been talking about comedy for years. I'm like, yeah, I was doing open mics for a while, and they were giving me so much shit. We want to see, and I was like, no, you don't, no, you don't. And then they built their own open mic in their restaurant next to the card club. I can't be like, no, I got this. No, like I have to do it.
Yeah, I thought the fact that everyone was there, the fact that we were probably about a 10 drinks deep at that point.
Yeah, it was right after the pod.
I was also, I fucked up historically bad before that because right after we left here, we'd all been drinking and then we went to Nickel City and I'm just like drunk as fuck. And this was the order that I put in for lunch. This is double cheeseburger, extra fried onions on top, mozzarella sticks
and fries,
and then
a beer.
And instead of an American Pale Ale, I got an American Pale Lager. And I had all of this, and immediately I was like, JC, I've been poisoned.
The rest of the night, he's like, I feel like absolute dog shit.
So, dude, there was a point where we go to fucking the open mic, and then we drive back to go to dinner. And, dude, I threw up before dinner, not because I was like too drunk. I threw up because like I thought my stomach was gonna fucking explode.
You ate you consumed and ate like 6,000 calories in like 4 hours between all the drinks and the fried food.
The mozzarella sticks, I think it came with like 5 or 6, and I had one, and they were gone.
Jeez,
He ate the whole basket.
Yeah, that was right after I had to loop back around to Nickel City because your AirTag like fell out of your wallet into my car. You guys were fucking lit by the end of that pod.
I forgot you dropped us off at the bar.
Yeah, because I
Like,
only
you
had,
kids have fun. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
We had 18 drinks between the three of us.
Yeah, the last it'll be fun for you to go back and watch the last episode, the second half of the birthday episode, because it was good. But there is a point where me and you communicate over text more than you do out loud in like the last 10 minutes of the pod. Like
Oh, boy.
you texted me to get them a water, and then you kind of just got on your phone, and they went on their own friend thing. And by the end, we got the last 10 minutes out. Any more time recorded, it would have been utter nonsense.
Yeah.
It was a good episode though, but yeah, you guys were fucked up. And I knew it was a long day because I met up with you that night at like 11:30, and you were already home, JC. You
Yeah,
were gone. I lost
I
you.
tapped out.
Yeah, and then Joe, you were just like, yeah, I kind of just stopped drinking. That's the only reason I'm alive right now.
Well, dude, we got to my birthday dinner, which I was so excited for, and then I was like poisoned from the mozzarella sticks. So I had to make the waitress go get me. I went in the bathroom and threw up, and then I had to go get a Tums from the waitress. It was brutal, and I was just sitting there, just like, I was dying. It was a nice time though. We had a great time.
What other did you finish the other mistakes that he made besides having like people there?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was curious what you thought.
I think mistake 1 is way too much pressure, and then mistake 2 is too much booze. Because I'm like, I want to be fucking clear-headed, ready to rip. That said, you're only up there to have fun. I mean, I don't think it's like necessarily like a mistake. I'm just saying, like, if coming back into the game, you're already nervous.
I'm not currently pursuing comedy.
You're already nervous. So to add the pressure of like Doug Polk,
I was fine.
And everyone is there.
I actually felt fine the first few seconds. And I got the first bit out, and then and it's a packed house. There's like 100 people there. And then the nerves started setting in, and then I like didn't have bits really. I didn't have like solid bits ready to go, and looking at my phone, and then and then the nerves start to hit. And
yeah, it's hard. I mean,
glad I did it.
It's obviously such an easy comparison, but if you had stopped doing poker for a year and then we're gonna hop on a live stream, you would never
rusty.
be like, you should get tanked before you go on. You would give the same advice to like a new poker player.
That's not. Yeah,
it's just never. I
Don't
get the
do
courage.
that.
Yeah, the liquid courage helps so much. It's so counterproductive. It's so. It's same.
I don't think so. I think it helps me so much. If I get a little drunk on stage, I have some of my best sets. If I'm just like dead dry up there, it's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I could say like the Wim Hof thing, like he was saying, where you want to be like taking in the moment. I think it's that like. Sure, comedy's serious, and like we want to have a good set and we want to do well, but I think like doing the Wim Hof almost makes it like like that stuff people do before like sporting events and like deploying into Afghanistan.
Too much.
We're going up to tell jokes, and it's totally nerve-wracking, but I think that it's the thing where sometimes if you take shit too seriously, it's when you come off like you were saying, like almost robotic or unserious with the crowd because you're so wind up tight, and that's why the drinks probably feel nice because you forget to Wim Hof. You don't give a fuck. You just go up. You riff off what the person said before.
Dude, I've got myself in so much fucking trouble where I've just like, I don't know, dude. I do get into that thing where I'm just like, I start doubting everything that I have, and I'm like, all my material sucks. I'm so sick of doing all this. And then I'm like, well, I need to fucking wind up. I need to get back in the game. I got to do some Wim Hofs before this. I got to get in there. And then I go on stage and I'm just like, hello, how are you guys? Like, what the fuck is wrong? Get away from us. Fucking weirdo.
How many sets do you think you've done?
2,000 or 3,000 probably.
Wow.
It's got to be the number. Brand, what about you?
I mean, under 1,000. I've done comedy for 5 years, but I wasn't like. I mean, I guess all the open mics are on over 1,000. I did 280 paid sets last year, and right now I'm on pace to do 370 this year.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
So
dude.
I'm gonna fall a little behind in August.
I think I'm in the
have to make it
40.
up,
I'm under 50 still, lifetime. So it's like it's nothing. I've not really been.
Yeah, you're a baby. It's so hard. And also, even though there's like still a crowd, it's still an open mic. It's still there was a restaurant. It's still people sitting down to eat. I guarantee you, 90% of those people were like, "Wait, there's an open mic tonight." Which is then now you're on enemy turf. You're trying to win over a crowd that was like, yeah, I wanted to come and like talk to my wife and tell her that I don't think we've been like, you know, intimate enough in our relationship, but now I get to hear you talk about how your balls itch in the summer heat, and it's like, yeah, that sucks.
It's fucking
There's some
brutal.
slightly racist material coming from that mic right now.
Yeah.
Dude, but with the whole like fucking doing a ton of stand-up thing, I look forward to my few weeks off in the summer every year so much because like I feel like you just get these bad habits built up and you start doing things a certain way, and it's nice to just kind of forget how to do stand-up for a little bit, and then you come back and you're like, here we go, and everything's in a completely different order. Nobody really knows where you're at, and it changes your entire setup so much.
I've enjoyed, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 sets in out of my time on stage, and I think they all were the second. There were days I did 2 mics in one day, and it was the second time I got up, and that felt way different. Like the second doing multiple night mics in a day, the second time I got up felt so much more relaxed.
Yeah, you're always like, yeah, I'm clean, ready to go, baby.
I was like, well, I just stopped caring about how it was gonna go, and then the nerves went down, and I actually felt comfortable on stage, which is it's a crazy feeling to like, you're the first time when you actually feel comfortable when you're starting, because it's the most nerve-wracking thing ever when you first start comedy, like public speaking.
Legitimately terrifying.
It's terrifying. So like having any sort of comfort on stage feels incredible.
Dude, so the nerves thing has like sent me to like going back to therapy, because I started wearing, my mom got me this Apple Watch for Christmas, and or this Garmin watch, and I would wear it, and I'd wear it on runs, and I'm like, this is great. I know exactly what my heart rate is. I know what my pace is. And then I started realizing, I'm like, oh dude, I'm having like panic attacks before shows. This is really bad. Like I'd be walking around, and then
would you relax once you got on stage?
No, I would have sets where for whatever reason on this particular night, my heart rate went from being 60 to 140 right before I went on stage. Like it's like I'm running a fucking 10K up there. And the reason is that I was just sitting there and I would just bug the fuck out. I would panic. And
does it have to do with like expectations? Or would you have like...
I think it's just a lot of like overthinking, man, where there's a huge difference between somebody, you can see somebody that's like living in the moment and somebody that's not. And when you go, I've got to get this out there. I got to say this thing and then this thing and then this. And then I'm also doing the fucking Wim Hof, which was not helping. And it's like...
It sounds like it's like that's not sustainable.
No.
And it's not a good path.
So I got it out of my system. I don't have the panic attacks before I go up anymore. But it was like this year. It was happening this year. I've done stand-up, like we said, 2,000 times, and I'm still bugging out.
I feel like that comes and goes. It's also like the shitty thing where like open mics are stressful. They suck. And then you kind of start to get confident at an open mic. And so you get on shows, which is awesome. But then in a weird way, the cycle repeats because like until, okay, sure, yeah, if you have 35 shows a month, you can be like, yeah, I bombed on that show. It doesn't matter. But if you have 10, those 10 mean a lot the fuck more. And that's like another tough thing to break out of is like I'm getting booked, but still not consistently because every show feels like you need to crush. Every show feels like an audition. It feels like the most important where it's like, oh, I have 3 sets tonight. I don't give a fuck how 2 of these shows. As long as one goes good, I go, okay, cool. I worked on stuff and figured it out by the 3rd.
It's this, the self-inflicted pressure.
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy about this recently where he's like stuck in that. And he's like, I want to get booked more, but it's hard because every show, if I bomb, I feel like I'm like, I have 5 shows a month. What the fuck do I do?
That's, the way poker's been recently has been incredible for me. Whereas like in years past, I'll find like the zone or flow state, whatever you want to call it, occasionally. Every time I've sat down at a poker table the last few months, I've immediately been in it where like I don't even feel like I have a pulse. And I feel super locked in and I have no like expectation of outcome, win or lose a pot. Like I just feel absolutely like dead inside might not be the right term, but I feel nothing, which is great in poker. Like you when you play, you don't want to like deep down you can show emotion, but like inside I feel kind of nothing right now, and that's a very dangerous thing for your opponents, and it's safe for you. Because
seems like a dangerous thing for your life though, where you just get so locked in where you're like, I don't feel anything right now.
But I'm playing a game. Like I'm focused on winning every single chip I can. As soon as the game's over, like it can bleed into your normal life where you become kind of unemotional, but it's great for poker because you're just all you're doing is focusing 100% of your energy on making the best decision possible and not giving a shit about the result and trying to get every chip. So like it's a great spot to be, and I was having trouble finding it consistently the last few years, but lately when I sit down, it just automatically turns on, and it makes me want to play more and more. Like I'm very excited to play every time, and as soon as I sit in the chair, like I'm like, oh, like yes, let's
dude,
go.
Let me fucking tell you, I could not be in a more different spot than you right now. I am in this fucking phase where like, dude, last weekend I got to East Austin, I literally went up to Spencer, I go, I don't have it right now. Whatever it is, whatever the like whatever zone I'm in where I'm like routinely crushing sets, I'm in the opposite mindset of that.
You're routinely bombing.
It's not even bombing. I'm walking in and I'm giving it a 7 or 8 out of 10 every fucking time. And it's not a 10. Like, there was one night that you and I went out. The night we went out with my friend Jay, and we went to Speakeasy and I bombed, and then the next set I crushed. I would rather oscillate between those two than be where I'm at right now, where every time I'm like, yeah, that was okay. Every time I get up, I'm going like, that was
lukewarm.
all right. I keep doing okay. And you know what it is, dude? For me, it's always like this. I have this fucking thing in my life where I have I want to call it like my mojo, dude, where if I lose my mojo, it fucks me up in all aspects of my life, where like I'll fumble the bag with a girl and then I'll just like do okay at stand up and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
I have no idea who I am right now. The swagger's gone.
You end up banging dudes.
And I'm like,
what's going on?
Yeah, I just keep banging with all these fucking guys. And I
go out looking for girls and
yeah, so I have just like, the swagger is missing right now and I need to get it back and I don't know where it went.
Let's dive back into this on next week's episode.
Okay, let's do it. Fuck
You
yeah.
wanna do it?
I'm
We'll
into
wrap
it.
this one up.
I'm gonna put next week I'm talking about the cum hangover that I had. There we go. Okay.
All right.